Hi, okay. This is a new blog because I realised that a lot of my other blogs from before didn't make sense and were very random. Well, this is the first part of a set of blogs that I will be doing called Who I Am and Why I Am, or Why I Am and Who I Am. And it literally is how I found FP, and I'm hoping that this story, as it progresses, leads to the happy ending that I'm looking for, which I'm sure by now you've realised what that is by watching the other blogs. Okay, where do I start? Right, I'm going to go back in time. I would have been about 17-year-old, 18 possibly. I was in, well, I'd been ill. I actually had a mental breakdown due to lots of problems with my mum being ill and other family issues at the time. I was going out with a young lady called Vicky. I used the word lady very, 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 very mildly. Me and her was together for quite some time. She decided to go sleep with one lad behind my back. I found out about it. I got annoyed. I went up to the lad and I had a fight with the lad, and I hurt him. I regret that now. About a month later, I found out she does the same again, but this time I'd just had enough. I mean, I'd already been breaking down in tears over nothing, and I didn't need the stress, so I'd just pretty much given up on the relationship. But she didn't know that I'd given up on the relationship, and she didn't know I found out about the second one. She planned on telling me in the middle of the main town where I lived, in front of her friends, because she wanted me to be upset in front of her friends and humiliate me. Well, it kind of backfired, because when she came up and started talking to me, I was sat down, and she came up and goes, "I'm seeing someone else." And I turned around and said, "Yep, I know." I stood up, smiled at her, and said, "Just goes to prove I deserve better than you." She ran off crying. Her friend came up, slapped me round the face, swore at me, and turned around and then walked off. And I just looked at her, smiled and went, "Happy now?" and walked off. I hadn't really been in any serious relationships since then, until probably the start of this year. Well, no, end of last year, Christmas. Someone had finally given me my confidence back and started talking to me and made me feel happy again about who I am. The young lady said how much she cared for me and that lot, which was fair enough. I really did appreciate that. I needed that at the time. We went out drinking, just having a laugh and a joke. We started. Well, we never actually started seeing each other officially. We were just together, if you know what I mean. And well, this is obviously bothering me now because obviously it's very, very raw. But she, well, let's just say she turned around and dropped me flat and left me in the lurch. I got in a very bad way. I started getting ill again. It was only about 3 months after that, with all the problems I had with her and having no confidence, low self-esteem. I'd found Friendship page then. I forgot to neglect that. Because of how bad I felt when she dumped me, I typed in "I need a friend" and found the Friendship page. A chat room which has really done amazingly helped me. I mean, the people on there are great. I mean, the first day I walked in, I was greeted by Noomba, the Village Idiot, and many others. And I keep going back, and I can't keep away from the place. That much so, I even applied and became an EA on there, which is an administrator. But before we get into the FP side of it, like I said, 3 months after dumping me, leaving me flat, I'd got myself in a very bad way. I was going out drinking. I was having 3-day weekends where I was just absolutely drinking to the extreme. I was never getting drunk, but I was like finishing drinking at 1:30 in the morning, and then walking home, putting my uniform on, going straight out to work, coming home, sitting around on the house thing, going and talking to a few friends, but then went out drinking again, coming home, going to work. It was just constantly like that. I started getting really ill, and I mean physically ill, not just mentally ill. Because of it, I had problems, and I went to the doctors, got myself all worked up and upset. But in this time, I'd made some really good friends in the friendship page, like I said, and a few of them have really helped me a hell of a lot. I mean, D-Chick, Village Idiot, Jen, C-Lady, Brand, RJ, and many others have really made me turn around. Me and Jen now, as you can tell by my blogs, I've formed a relationship. It wasn't planned because the friendship page is not for a pickup room. We don't encourage it. But I can honestly say that the relationship wasn't formed in FP. We made friends, we passed Yahoo MSN IDs, and we should talk on there, and it's gone from there. Right. We're now on the 7th month, so me and Jen have been talking for 7+ months now. We've only been going out technically about 4 or 5 of them. I'm flying over in October to go see her, because simple fact is I do believe I finally found the girl of my dreams. I can't imagine ever wanting to be with anyone else. She's so beautiful. She's a big part of my life. When we're apart, I feel hurt, lost. I mean, the song, if you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me. Well, that's how I feel when she's not there. I feel like I'm not the whole of me. Now, let's go on to the flight. When I fly over in October, I'm scared. I am really scared. I mean, the first stop I do, I land down in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've got to stay there overnight. And I won't be at home, so I won't have home. And I want to make it to her, so I won't have anyone in Atlanta, Georgia that I know. I used to have panic attacks that were part of my illness, and I am really shaking right now. I mean, I'm trying to keep my hand still, and I'm scared. But I'm doing all this for Jen because I love her, and I plan to be with her for as long as forever. I'm going over for the 2 week. This 2 week that I'm flying over is to pretty much make sure that it is what I think it is between me and her. I mean, obviously I'm scared because I've been hurt so badly in the past by lasses. I mean, 2 in the brief time. Well, I've actually been ill, and like I said, I actually got to the point like I said, about 3 or 4 months back. I was stood on a bridge, and I was debating on jumping. And I don't mean that as a figure of speech. I was ready to jump, take my life, and some person came past. I don't know who it was. It wasn't anyone I knew. And all they did was come up and go and talk to me, because I climbed on the first part of the railing, and they came over and started talking to me. I broke down in tears. Because I was in tears, I walked away. I didn't want to face the person. I came in and I sat down talking in FP. No one in FP knew I was upset at the time. I love that room and I love everyone in it. They have really, really, really saved my life. Because simple fact